Hello guys. Let me check I'm live or not. Just wait. Okay. I am live. Okay guys. Live. I am live. Just open the chat guys. Okay. I am live. Chat guys, chat. Hello guys, live. I am live. Okay. आवाज आ रही है guys? Let me check. Hello. Hello guys. So let's make some more sound. Okay. Hello guys. What's up guys? Hello. I think it's done. So let's start it guys. Today we are creating authentication system using MERN stack. So let's create two directories. Let's open the terminal. Inside this I am creating two directories. So mkdir for creating directories. First one is client side and second one is server side. So let's create it. So two directories are created. First we need to create server side. So let's go inside server side and let's create server side, and inside this server side we need to install Express. So npm I Express and mongoose for data, and the third one is .env. Okay, so let's install. Just wait for installing dependencies. So let's close it first and clear the terminal. Clear and create an init file. So npm init -y. Okay, inside server side we have an package.json. So now let's install dependencies. Okay, so dependencies are installing. Just wait. .env, and we want some more dependencies. So let's go npm, and here we need to install some more dependencies. My voice is proper or not? So three dependencies are installed. We need to install some more dependencies like JSON Web Token or bcrypt for decrypting our password. Okay, so let's wait for npm.js to install JSON Web Token. Three dependencies are installed. Let's create folder structure here. So inside here we have an file folder, so src directory, and inside this src directory, not inside this, we have it in server side. Let's move it. Inside server side I am creating new directory src, and inside this src I am creating more directories like routes, and one more is db or database connecting. Not inside this. Let's remove this first. Inside this src create a new directory db, and one more directory is models or database models, and last one is models routes. Okay, controllers. Let's create new directory here controllers, and inside this I am creating two files. One is index.js and the other one is main.js. Okay, I have created two files, index.js and main.js. Now let's install dependencies. We need to refresh this. I think my internet is slow. So let's go to new terminal. Okay, new tab. Let's install more dependencies. Search JSON Web Token. Okay, so JSON Web Token, JWT, and search here. The first one, JSON Web Token, we need to install this. So let's copy this command. Okay, copy and paste it into our VS Code. So it is not working. Okay, so copy more one time. Let's copy it and paste it here. Now the other one dependency required is bcrypt. Okay, so let's install bcrypt. Okay, npm bcrypt. Here you can see the downloads, weekly downloads. Let's install bcrypt. So that's waits for installing bcrypt. And I think .vn we have already installed. So let's go package.json dependencies .env. Okay, and we require one more dependency, which is cookie parser. Let's search here, cookie parser. Okay, now let's search what. Let's write here, and now let's search. We found or not. Okay, cookie parser. Let's remove this cookie parser. I think this is cookie parser. So let's install cookie parser. Okay, yeah. And inside this server side directory, I am creating new file named as .env for environment variables. Okay, and we need to also set up course. For that we are creating front end using React, so we need to set up course. So let's install one more package, course, npm course. After this we will start our setting up our project. So I can make it, let's find it. So inside this index.js I am importing. So import Express. So let's first go inside package.json, and here we need to set type to module. So now we can use import statement. So let's import Express from Express, and here we need to set up app. So const app is equals Express. Okay, so now we need to configure our .env. So let's import .env from .env. Okay, and here we need to set .env.config. Okay, and now we need to use cookie parser or other packages. So let's use, so we are using middleware app.use cookie parser. First we need to import it. So import cookie parser. So let's go here and cookie parser from cookie parser. Now let's save it, and inside this we need to use cookie parser. So let's use cookie parser as a middleware. It will parse our cookies. Now the next middleware will be URL encoded. So express.url encoded, and here we need to part extended true. we can also pass limit here. The third will be for JSON, so app.use Express.js. Now our project has been set up. We need to set up course. So for course inside .env file, we need to create a new variable, environment variable, server client side endpoint. So let's create client side endpoint, and the value will be, so let's write value http. We'll start our project on localhost 5173. So let's write here localhost column / I think so this will be done. Let's check here http column / okay, localhost 5173. So we need to write 5173 here. This will be our client side endpoint. So inside index.js, so we need to all set this inside main.js. Let's copy it and paste it here. Now let's set course. So app.use course, and we need to import course. So let's import course from course. Now let's use course. So inside this we can pass origin. Origin will be import dot meta dot env dot what's our environment variable. Let's copy it here, paste it here. Now our project has been set up. So let's export app. Okay, express name export. We have a little mistake here. Export app. Okay, now let's create a database function to connect to database. So inside this I am creating a new file, db connect db.js, and inside this I am creating a function. So export const connect db. So the function will be asynchronous. So let's write async here, and inside this we need to connect. So let's go to mongoose. Okay, we need the URL. So let's go to mongoose. Okay, not this. So mongoose here, and mongoose documentation. So here we can copy the URL. Just wait for loading. From here we will copy. So we require this URL. So let's copy, and now let's go inside VS Code and connect to DB. So let's import mongoose from first. So import mongoose from mongoose, and now let's use here. So mongoose dot connect. Okay, so we will connect here and not test. We will provide here for auth. We are creating a new database auth, so that's why I write auth here, and const db equals await. So the now let's console. So log db dot connection dot host. So let's console it here, and if error occurred, so throw error. First we need to write, so let's write some comment here. So error while connecting db, and the error will be error. Okay, so now let's go inside index.js and import connect db here, connect db. Okay, from we require to add here .js, otherwise we will get error, and import app. So let's import app from main.js. Let's remove the bracket. Okay, now here we need to connect to database. So let's connect to database. It will return promise, so we can use then catch here. So then we need to listen the app, so app.listen, and here we need to provide port. So let's go inside .env and create a new port. So port will be now for 8080 because we are using our local database. So inside app.listen we need to provide port. So let's provide port process.env.port, and inside this we will pass in callback. So let's pass it, and now log. So here we will log app is listening at port. So let's write port here. So process.env.port, and okay, now let's test it. So inside main.js we need to rewrite it because this is inside wait, and so let's write process.env. What's our environment variable? Client side endpoint. Okay, so let's write it here and now test it is working or not. So let's run. Inside I am inside server side directory, so let's run npm. So we need to set up our script, so let's go inside this, and the script will be dev. Okay, so inside this remove this all and right here node.mon. I already installed node.mon, so if you are not installed you can install it. So inside src directory I am in file index.js, so let's run it. Now run npm run dev. Let's see what occurs. So I think this is working. So app is listening at port 8080. Now we need to create database models for user. So let's create database model. Inside this I am creating a file user.models.js, and inside this I am importing mongoose. So importing mongoose from mongoose and creating a new schema. So let's create an schema. So const user schema. Okay, and new of mongoose dot schema. So let's write a schema here, and inside this we will pass an object. So let's write here. So what information we need to require? So inside this we have an full name, so username. Okay, so the type will be string and required true, and we have another field full name. After this we want email, so the type will be string and required true. After this we have to store password, so let's store password. So let's store password. Type will be password, or not password, type will be string, and required it will be true. So what thing we are required? We can store refresh token here, so let's store refresh token here. So refresh token, and type will be string and required true. Okay, and we require timestamp, so timestamps true. So now we have created our schema. Let's create model. So const, not const, we require only one s, so const user equals mongoose dot model. So here we are creating new model, so let's create. The name will be user and schema will be user schema. Okay, So what here we can do is, okay, so let's do it. Okay, first we need to create here and pre. So user schema dot pre save. Inside save event we can pass and callback. Okay, so it will be function if is modified, this dot is modified. Inside this we will pass and password. So this password is modified, so what we can do is we need to clarify it. So let's do one thing. So let's write brackets here, and inside this we need to hash our password. So let's import bcrypt here. So import bcrypt from bcrypt. Okay, so this dot password equals bcrypt dot hash. Inside this we need to pass data. So let's pass data. Data will be this dot password. Okay, this will, so we need to pass rounds also. So let's pass round 9. It will make 9 rounds. Okay, so let's pass 9 rounds here and it will save it. And now we need to create and generate access token or generate refresh token. So let's create it. So inside here user schema dot methods, inside methods object we need to create a new function, generate access token equals, so function. Okay, so let's pass some logic here. So let's import JWT for creating tokens. So import JWT from JWT. Let's write it JSON Web Token here, and let's go here. And we need to sign, so JWT dot sign and payload. Okay, so we need to provide payload here. So what information we need to pass it here. Okay, so let's see what we can pass here. Okay, so underscore id will be this dot underscore id, and the other field we want to, so full name and email. So let's write full name here. Full name will be this dot full name, and email will be this dot email. So let's write it here. And now we need to provide key. So let's create key, secret key or private key. So let's create secret key. So for access token we need to create an secret key. So let's write it here, access token secret key. Okay, secret key. So let's write access token secret here, and the secret will be some random string. So let's write some random string here, and we need to pass this secret inside this. So let's pass process. So let's turn off. Okay, process dot env dot secret. So let's import it from here. Now let's paste it. So okay, and now we need to return, it will return our us and token. So return it from here. Now our refresh token has been generated. Now we need to generate access token. Access token has been generated, we need to generate refresh token. So let's write here user schema dot methods, inside methods object, okay, and generate refresh token. So we need to pass here also and show expires in, okay. So let's pass expires in. So access token expiry equals 1 day, not 1 day. So let's write it 3 day here. And now let's go here and process dot env dot access token expiry. Let's copy it from here and paste it here, okay. Access token expiry. So okay, okay. Now let's think about it, okay. So here we have created generate refresh token. So let's create a function, okay. Inside this function we need to do same thing but with minimal data. So return JWT dot sign. Inside this we need to provide value, what value we are providing in our refresh token. So let's provide value, what value we can provide, something else. So let's provide underscore id. Id will be this dot id. So let's provide only one value inside this, so we can refresh our token from this token, okay. So now we have created this and we need to create a new function inside methods object. So user schema dot methods dot is password correct, is pass correct. So let's provide a function to this, okay. Now we need to check our password is correct or not. So let's use bcrypt dot compare, okay. So we require password, so let's destructure it. So password, inside this we need to provide password. So compare, okay. So it requires data encrypted string, okay. So here we will password and encrypted string will be this dot password. And what it will return us, it will return true or false. So let's return it from here, okay. Let's return it from here. And now we need to create routes for user. So let's create routes. First we need to create a route. So user dot routes dot js, and inside this we need to create a route, so and export it. So let's create export const user router, I think so. So user router will be a router from Express. So we need to import it inside main.js. So let's import it here. And so app.use, okay, if slash user. So let's use, okay. So user router here, import it. So we need to provide .js here, otherwise we will get an error, okay. So not js, .js, okay. User router. Now we need to create controllers. So let's create controller, user dot controller dot js, okay. So let's create controller here. First control we are creating it for sign up option. So let's create export const user sign up. So for this, first we need to create an async handler. So let's create an async handler. So inside this we need to create a new directory, utils, and inside this utils we can create an, I think, file. So let's create async handler.js. So let's create async handler. So let's create, so export const async handler and here we will create an function. So the function will be asynchronous and it requires an function. Okay, so let's return new function from here. Return async request comma response, and next for middlewares. Okay, so let's write it here, and we need to use try catch. So let's use try catch here. And here we need to run this function if error occurs. So let's do it with occur. What we can do with error? So response dot status 400 dot JSON. Okay, error. We are providing error object here. So let's do it. So user sign up. We need async handler here. So let's use async handler from async handler dot js. Okay, and inside this we are passing an function asynchronous, and we will get request and response from here. Okay, request and response from here. So now let's check. Okay, so what is the what fields we require? So let's check inside user model. We require full name, email, password. Okay, so these things, three things we required. So inside user controller, let's destructure it from request dot body. Inside this request dot body, we need to destructure this all. So let's destructure this full name, email, and password. And now we need to check if these three things are available or not. If not available, we can throw an error. Okay, so let's create. Okay, so inside this utils we need to create an file api error.js, and here we need to create an class api error extends error. So it is extending error class. So okay, so I need to go inside this. Okay, inside local disk I have major projects. So inside this we have an backend. Inside this src utils and api errors. So let me open this. Okay, let's copy this all and paste it here. Okay, so now we can throw an error, and let's create a new file api response. So api response dot js. So class api response. So inside this we will create a constructor, and we will require some values here. So first will be status code, second will be data, and default value will be empty object. Okay, and third one will be message, and let's provide body to it. So this dot status code equals status code, and this dot data equals data. Okay, and this dot message equals message. Okay, so now we have created this. Let's export it. So export api response. Okay, export API response from here. I will show you class. Okay, and inside async lender I'll already exporting it, and let's export it also. So API error. Now need to go inside this and check if the values are have or not. So if not a full name, or not of email, or not a password, so it throws an error. So throw new API error. Okay, from API error.js error, and inside this error we need to pass status code. So status code will be 401, and the value will be message. So message will be fields are required. Okay, fields are required, and if all the three things we have, so let's create a user. So okay, const user equals await, and we need to import user here. Okay, so I think inside model we have not exported it, so we have exported it already, not exported. So let's write export here. Now inside user controller user, so it will auto import it and create. Let's create a new user and provide full name, email, and password here. So let's provide the three things. Okay, so after this we need to check if an user already exists with this email or not. So inside this model, user model, we need to provide email to unique true. Okay, so let's go inside user.controller.js, and here we need to check if the user with same email exists or not. So let's check const user verification equals await. Let's write await here, user dot find. Okay, so let's provide okay email here. So email will be, just provide email here because we are using ECMAScript 6. So let's check if user verification is true, if user found. So user verification, if user found, so let's throw new API error, and inside this we need to pass status code. So status code will be 401, and let's provide unauthorized, not unauthorized, email user. Okay, user with email already exist, and after this, if user not found, so let's create a new user. Okay, so inside this we have user model. So it's default, here we need to provide default value. So default will be undefined. Okay, so let's go inside user controller, and user has been created. Okay, so let's check if user created. So if user created, so nothing, and if not created, so let's throw an error, throw new API error with status code 500 because it's our internal server error. So let's write server error here, server error. So let's write it server error if user not found means if database is not connected, so it gives us server error. And if user is created, so let's provide response. So response dot status is 201 and dot JSON. So let's pass the user here. So new of API response. So inside this we need to provide status code. So status code will be 201, and we are destructuring this inside API response. So let's remove it first because we are not destructuring it. So let's remove it, and inside this user controller, so let's pass data. So data will be user, and the third thing we required is message. So message will be user created successfully. So let's write user created successfully. So now it's time to check our API with Postman. So let's check. First we need to set up route. So let's remove the semicolon from here, and now let's set up the route. So inside this user route we need to create a new route. Okay, so let's create a new route, user router dot route, and the route will be sign up. So let's write sign up here, and dot post, not page, post. So user sign up, let's use user sign up here. Okay, now let's check with if error occurs. So let's check what error occurs inside user routes.js. So let's go inside user routes. So here we need to provide .js here. Okay, so let's provide .js here, and now check. So now our server is running properly. Okay, now we got another error. Okay, so route.post require a callback function but not got a object promise. Okay, route.js. So we got an error. So let's resolve this. User sign up. So here we have, so we are not returning it. Inside this we have an asynchronous handler. So let's check it. So here we are. Okay, so let's pass request and the response and next here. Now let's check if it is working or not. So what is saying, it is saying us. So let's check inside this. I have an async handler. So let me check what is saying. Asynchronous wait. Okay, async handler, we need to await it. Okay, what's wrong going on? Okay, async handler, async. Okay, async handler, try catch await. So let's copy it and paste it here. Now what think? Okay, so let's export it from here. Export const async handler. Okay, import from async handler. The requested module is this. Does not provide export named as async handler. Okay, handler. Okay, let me check what error occurs. Does not provide an async handler. So let's check async handler. What error occurs? So it gives me error YouTube authentication user controller.js. So let's go inside it. So async handler. Okay, handler and handler. So let's copy it and paste it here. Okay, so now the error resolved, but the new error occurs. What is error? So okay, not defined. So let's copy it and paste it here. So now our server is running. Let's check for our sign up route. So let's check inside this postman. I have to create a new request. So let's create new request. First I need to write. Okay, let me read comments. If comments here, so no comments. Okay, no comments here. Okay, if anyone on chat, comment by what is your name. Keep up the good work. Okay, bro. Dhruv Agrahari, bro. Thank you so much. My name is Yashpal Chauhan. What is your name? My name is Yashpal Chauhan, bro. So now let's check our endpoint. So HTTP, not S. So HTTP localhost column 8080/user/signup. So let's provide post requests and let's provide without body. So it gives us something. Fields are required that we have an added check here. So let me show you. Inside this I have added this check, so it gives me fields are required. So let me show you inside postman. Okay, so this gives me fields are required, so we need to provide fields. So inside this I am providing URL encoded data. So full name will be, value will be Yashpal Chauhan, and here I need to provide email. So here email will be email@gmail.com. Not this, we can use test. Okay, so test@gmail. So write gmail here, gmail.com, and let's do it. Okay, and gmail, and we need to provide password. So password. Okay, inside this I am providing password as 1234, and let's do it. So email, user with email already exists, so let's check it what error occurs. So if user is true, then condition is false. So here if user verification, if user find. Okay, inside this email if user find, so it gives us error. Okay, so user dot find. So let me show inside my cmd. Sorry, let's write command here, mongo sh. Okay, nice. Okay, bro, thank you, bro. Dhruv Agrawal, bro. Dhruv Agrawal, bro, thank you. Let's mongo sh here, so it will show me my database. So show dbs, and here I have an database auth. This is my database auth. So db dot auth. So not this, use auth. So show collections. So it will show collections here. So inside this users I have in collections user. So db dot users dot find. Okay, so here I have nothing, so find. Okay, okay, so why this is giving us an error? So let's check. Okay, user with email already exists, so let's write here test for, and if I send, so it gives me this. So let's write note here, and if I check this, so it gives me the created user. So the password will be 1234, and email and full name, email, password, okay, id, and created it, updated it. So it gives me this. Now we need to provide login option. So let's create route for login. So let's go inside VS Code, inside user router. We need to create a new function named as login. So export const login. equals, so let's write name here, user login equals async handler, and inside this async, and we will get request and response. Okay, so for login we need two things, email and password. So let's decrypt it. Okay, so destructure it from request dot body. So we need email and password. Okay, so let me check if email and password exist. If not exist, throw error. So email or not a password, so throw new API error, and the status code will be 401. So let's write 401 here, and the error will be fields are required, same as the we provided in sign up. Fields are required. Okay, so the error will be fields are required, and if the email and password exist, so we need to check the password is right or not. So let's find the user first. So const user equals await user dot find by id, not find one. Okay, so let's use find one here, and inside this we need to check for email. Okay, okay, so let's check for email if email exists. If not of email, so let's throw an error here. So throw new API error, here. Inside this we need to provide status code. So status code will be 401, and the error will be incorrect email. Okay, so incorrect email. Okay, now we need to check the password. So let's check password first. Okay, so if user found. Okay, so let's check const password verification. So let's on the charger verification equals await, and here user verification we need to check for password. So let's check for password, user dot is password correct. So we have created this function inside the user model. So let me show you. Here we have function is pass correct. So let's copy it and paste it here. Okay, now let's check what fields is required. Okay, so let me think about it. No suggestions. Okay, and we need to provide an password here. So password will be password. If so it will true, so do nothing, and if it will false, so let's throw an error. So password verification, throw new API error here. So let's put, and the status code will be 401, and the message will be incorrect password. Incorrect password. Okay, so if incorrect password, so this will return us, and if the password is correct, so we need to provide access token and reference token to user. So let's set the reference token and access token. So let's generate it. So const refresh token equals, okay, so let's generate is from user. So user dot generate. So let's copy it from here. So inside we have created generate access token first. So let's copy it and paste it here. Generate access token, and we need to write access token here. So let's write access token here, and here we need to provide something or not. So it will generate access token for us, and let's generate refresh token equals. So let's generate it. Let's copy it from user model. So generate refresh token and let's paste it here. So it will generate refresh token for us. And now we need to set the refresh token and access token to cookies. So let's set it. So here in response we need to set status. So status will be 200 and dot cookie. So the cookie name will be refresh token first, refresh token, and the value will be refresh token, and we need to provide an option. So let's create an object for options. So let's create const options because we use it here. So let's http only first. HTTP only will be true, and secure will be true. Now let's do it. So we need to provide options here inside these cookies. So let's write options. Okay, bro, how helpful is MERN step for hackathons and interviews? Bro, are you a student? How old are you? Yes, bro, I'm a student, second year, BTech CS, artificial intelligence. And MERN step for hackathons and interviews, bro. For interviews, you need to learn DSA, and for survive in company, you need to learn development. You can choose any field, MERN stack, Android development, or anything you want. Yes, bro, I am a student, second year CSE. So now we need to set another cookie. So let's set another cookie, and the another cookie will be access token. So let's set access token here, access token. So here we have an access token, and let's provide options. So suggestion is loading and option, and the after the end we need to provide an JSON data. So new of API response. So let's give me suggestion first, and inside this API response we need to provide status code. So let's press Alt plus Z. Okay, so the status code will be 200 and the data will be user. Okay, and the message will be logged in successfully, logged in successfully. College, Jawaharlal Institute of Technology, Khargone. Okay, bro, thanks a lot. Okay, bro, thank you, bro. Thanks a lot. Okay, no problem, bro. So response dot status. Okay, logged in successfully. And now we need to check our user login, and first we need to create and route for user login. So let's create and route for user login. So let me read comments, if comments. Okay, bro, thank you. Okay, let's open the chat. Okay, now we need to set our route. So let's go inside user route, and let's new route here, user router dot route slash login, and here we will add an post request and use user login here. So we need to use user login here. So now let's check our user login. So let's go inside postman, and we are creating new request here. The request will be post, and the endpoint will be http column slash slash localhost 8080 slash user slash login, and let's do without body. So let's do without body. So it gives me fields are required, so we need to provide body to it. So let's provide body. I'll maximize this, and I'm providing body inside URL encoded. So let's provide. So email, first we need to provide an email, and so email will be I have seen here. So email will be test4@gmail.com, test4@gmail.com, and we need to provide password. So let's write password here. Password will be 1234. Okay, so let's do with this, and if I check user dot is pass correct is not a function. Okay, so let's go inside user dot is pass correct. We need to go user model. Okay, methods is pass correct. Okay, let me think about it. Okay, user schema, methods. Okay, the method. Okay, so let's remove method as here. Okay, now let's check with this. User dot is password correct is not a function. Okay, inside, so let's remove this first and go user controller. Okay, so we need to write u small here. What's going on here? So let me think. Okay, so let's run this. Incorrect password. Okay, so password is incorrect. Why it gives us incorrect password? Okay, so okay, so let's find here. If I find here, so it gives me an user. So let's create a new user first or verify that's our program is working or not. So let's try test only and create a new user. It gives me without password encrypting. So let's check here user model. Okay, inside this user model I have saved this dot is modified password. Okay, this dot password be kept, and for this I think we need to have an async function and await. So think let me think about it. And is password correct? For this we also need asynchronous and await and user controller. So here I am checking password. So user is password correct. So let's create another user with test1 and send the request. So now it gives us an data. So the password will be encrypted in this form and we need to log in. So let's log in with test1. Okay, so test1 not or not capital. So let's write test1 here and send the request. Secret or private key must have a value. Okay, so here we are getting an error. So let's go here and inside user model. So process.env.access token secret. Okay, process.env token expiry. Okay, let me think about it. Process.env, and now we need to go inside main.js. We have configured our .env file. So what's going on here? Secret or private key must have a value. Okay, so let's think about it. User model. Okay, here Okay, process.env. Oh, so inside this we don't we have not passed secret token or access token. What you will say? So process.env dot refresh token. So let's create secret for refresh token. So access, not access, refresh. So let's write a refresh here. Refresh token secret equals. So let's write secret here. Okay, the secret will be this. It's random numbers. So and let's create expiry. So let's write refresh token expiry, and expiry will be, so let's write 7 day here. Okay, now let's provide this value. So access token secret inside model. So let's provide access token secret here, not control plus C. Okay, let's copy it and paste it here. So what I am doing, so let's remove this all, and inside we need to pass expiry. So expires in process dot env, and let's copy refresh token expiry from here. So let's copy and let's read the comments, if comments. Okay, so if you have any comment I will read it. Okay, don't have any comments. Okay, so now let's provide expires. So inside user model we need to provide expiry. So let's paste it here and now save. And now if I make request with postman, so let's make request, and now it gives me all the data. Okay, full name, email, password, and now we need to select this password because we are not want to give this password to user. So let's remove it from object. So inside user controller, and so let's find, okay, and create dot select. Inside this we need to pass password and refresh token, and if user is login, so let's update it with user refresh token. Okay, so const updated user equals await, and here user dot find by id and update. So let's use find by id. Okay, so inside this we need to pass id. So let's pass id here, user dot underscore id, and what the things we need to update. So we need to update the refresh token. So refresh token will be refresh token. So let's remove it as it is, and we need to pass it inside this. So inside this we will pass updated user. Okay, so like this I am passing updated user here. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to select it from here. So new is equals to, so let's provide new, and then we will got new object and dot select. And what things we need to remove from here, so we need to remove password, and let's remove refresh token, now logged in this with this. So let me check. So now it doesn't gives me refresh token and password. So and if I will check on Mongoose, so let's check. So the refresh token we have generated, it is, and the password is it. So now we need to set up this all this process and create a new middleware, so it will check if the user is a verified user or not. So let's create src. Inside this I am creating subdirectory called as middlewares, and inside this middlewares I am creating new file. So verify JWT dot middleware middleware.js. So let's create it and export an function. So export, okay, export const verify JWT, and we will wrap it inside async handler, and let's provide an asynchronous function here, and we will get express response and next. So let me check if user exists or not. So to check it, we need to check, okay. So first thing we need to extract it from refresh token and access token. So let's first we need to console this. So log request dot cookies, okay. So cookies, and we need to make a request through postman on this. So let's create new request here. First we need to set up our route. So inside this user routes I am creating a new route. So user router dot route, inside this I have creating a new route verify, and request will be not patch post and verify JWT here. So let's check our backend is running not running. So inside verify middleware.js, so let's go inside and add .js here, okay. So I am added .js here, and now our backend is working. So let's make request here, and the request will be post. So let's put it to post, and endpoint will be http column / localhost 8080 / user / verify. Now let's make request here. So it doesn't give us data, but we need to check. So it gives us access token and refresh token. So let's extract it. So like this. So const destructure equals request dot cookies. Inside this cookies object we have refresh token and access token. So let's destructure it, access token and refresh token. So we have destructured the two things. First is access token and second one is refresh token. So we need to extract data from access token. So for this we have create an variable decrypted user. So it will be from JWT. So let's import JWT here. Import JWT from JSON Web Tokens, and here we need to add. So add JWT dot verify, and inside this we need to pass token, okay. So what token we have generated? So we have generated access token and the secret key. So import, not import, process dot env dot access token secret. So inside dot env we have access token secret. So let's copy it from here, not control plus Z. Copy this and paste it here, okay. So let me think, okay. So it will gives us the decrypted user. So log the decrypted user. So now let's log. So wait for database connecting. So app is listening. Now let's check, make request from here and check inside this. So it gives us the decrypted data, ID, full name, email, and expiry or initialization date, so it will expire. So now we need to check if the ID or email exists or not. So for this we need to add checks, and after this decrypted user we need to set if the cookies are exist or not. So if not of access token or not of refresh token, so it will throw error, so new of API error. And inside this API error we need to provide status code, so status code will be 401 and the error will be unauthorized access, so unauthorized access. So inside this we will pass unauthorized access. If user not logged in, so it will use unauthorized access. So if decrypted user is found, so let's think decrypted user is found, so let's check. So const user equals await, and here we need to find user, so let's import user and find by ID. So it gives me ID, so okay, find by ID. So let's find user, so decrypted user dot underscore ID. So it gives me the data if the user is exist or not. So let's log the data, log user. So now I will show you how the things are working. So I'm making request from postman. So inside this I got the data, so because of I logged in. So let me show you. Inside this I have logged in and I have cookies, access token and refresh token, so that's why I am getting this. And I am getting ID, full name, email, password, and all the things I have. Okay, password created it, updated it, and refresh token. And we need to set this to user. So if it found, so I will show you that something. So if not of user, throw new of API error. So agar let me show you, if a user doesn't exist, so it throws an error. So inside this error we need to provide status code, so status code will be 401 and the method will be unauthorized access. So let's copy it from here and paste it inside this. So why we are getting, so we are missing if here, that's why we are getting. Bro, are you full-time YouTuber? Not bro, I am not a full-time YouTuber. Part-time YouTuber bro. Okay, so let's think. If user found, so not found, so it gives us unauthorized access. And if user is found, so let me think about it. So let's clear this all. Okay, so if a user exists, so we need to, okay, so we need to add this inside request object, so we can verify after this. So request dot user becomes user. So now we have created this, and now we need to create an controller for this. So inside middleware, not middleware, inside this controller where user controller exists, so models, routes, controller, here we have user controller, and inside this we need to create a new controller. So let's create it. Export const or working professional. Bro, I am joining an intern. I am a second year student at BTech CSE. So export const user verify. Okay, so let's wrap it inside async handler, and the function will be asynchronous. So let's add async here and request and response. So inside this middleware we need to also pass the control to next middleware, so next middleware or next route, so we can use another route. So let's go inside user controller, and inside this if the user exists, so we need to pass the control to others. So let's so let me think about it. So okay, so let's log request dot user here, and inside user route the verify JWT will be our middleware, and the controller will be user verify. And if I make request from here, so it gives me, it is login request, it not working. So inside verify, let's send request, and now check our console. Okay, so inside this console it prints all the data. We need to pass this data to user. Okay, so let's pass it to user inside user controller. So okay, so let's pass it. Okay, so we need to destructure user from request object, and if not of user, so let's throw an error, so new of API error. Okay, so API error will be 401, and error will be unauthorized access. I think I have copy pasted this. Okay, and else response dot status, and the status will be 200, I think so. Okay, so 200 and JSON object, so new of API response, and inside this we need to provide status code. So status code will be 200, and data will be user, and message will be okay, so verified user. So we will when we create UI for this, so we will get something. Okay, and now let me check about this on Postman. So let's first clear our console. So let's write clear here, and now run npm run dev. So here we are running our server, and let's make a request. So if I send a request here, so it gives me verified user because I have logged in. So let me show you. This is my cookies. I have logged in with this, and inside this I am checking. So we need to remove password and refresh token from here. So for this, what we can do is, let's simply write okay. So what we can do is we can okay. So let's remove it from here. Inside verify middleware, we can select it. So dot select. Inside this we need to remove password. So let's write password here with hyphen, and we need to remove refresh token. So let's remove refresh token, and now if we will check, so it gives me data without password. Okay, so it removes password and refresh token. It gives me only ID, full name, email, and created it and updated it, and the message will be verified user. Now we have created sign up, login, and verified user. So now we need to create logout route, so user can log out. After this we will create UI for this. So first create logout option. So let's go inside VS Code, and inside user controller. Okay, so export const, we need to create an new controller. So export const logout, so user logout will be name user logout, and let's wrap inside async handler, and let's write async here, and request and response. Okay, so we need to log out the user. So if the user is verified, so for logout we need to remove refresh token of user, refresh token from DB, and the second thing we need to do is we need to clear the cookies of user. So let's do first thing, we need to refresh token. Okay, so let's do it. So const updated user equals await user dot find by ID and update. So let's provide ID here. So we will get ID from this. So let's the structure ID. So underscore ID equals request dot user. So we will get ID from here. Okay, So let's pass this ID inside this, and we need to update our refresh token, because let me show you inside MongoDB. So the refresh token is inside our database, so we need to undefine it if user login log out. Okay, so logout for logout, so let's update it, refresh token, and the value will be undefined. Okay, okay, and if the things is not occurred, so let's throw an error. So not of updated user, so throw new API error, and let's throw error inside this. So status code will be 401, and the message will be so updated user. Okay, so message will be server error, so let's write status code 500 here, because it's our server error. So let's write server error here. Okay, so throw new of API error, and this will be our server error. And if updated user refresh token has been setted successfully, so what we need to do is we need to clear user cookies. Okay, so response dot status will be 200, and clear cookie. So let's write clear cookie here, and inside this we need to pass our cookie name. So the first cookie we need to clear is refresh token, and we need to provide option. So we have defined option on the top of this, because we use in every controller. So these are option HTTP only and secure. So let's pass the options here. So options, and the second cookie we need to clear is, so let's write clear cookie, and the second cookie will be access token. So let's clear access token. Okay, and inside this we need to clear access token. So let's pass options here, and after this we need to pass JSON object. So new of API response, not error, API response. Okay, so control plus Z, and inside this we need to provide status code. So status code will be 200, and data will be updated to user, and message will be log out successfully. Okay, log out successfully, and now we need to set up route for it. So let's go inside user.routes.js, and user router dot route, and inside this logout dot post, and now the route will be secured, because the user who have already logged in, only he can log out. So for this we need to verify JWT. So let's add verify JWT here, and after this we need to add user logout. So let's run it and make request on this. So I have already logged in inside my Postman. So let's create new request here. Okay, and the request will be post request. So let's pass endpoint here, http column / localhost 8080 / user / logout, and now let's check if error occurred or not. So it gives me logout successfully, because I haven't logged in already. So it gives me password and refresh token also, but we don't need it. So let's remove it. So inside user controller, okay, so here we are fetching data. So we need to select, and we need to remove password. So let's write password here, and we need to remove refresh token also. So let's add refresh token here, and it will remove all the things. And if I go inside this, so it gives me unauthorized access, because I have logout and I need to log in. So let's go inside this, verify, and this is a login route. So let's log in with this. And now I am login inside the app. So let's go here, and if I log out, so it doesn't give me the refresh token and password. So we have created all the things, sign up, login, verify and log out. And now we need to create UI for this. So let's create UI. So let's go inside this and close this terminal and close the server side, and let's go inside client side. So just open the terminal and let's close this and clear this console, and we need to go inside client side. So cd client side, and okay, and I will make two terminals here. So let's split terminal. Okay, and here I will go server side. Okay, so let's run the our server. So our server is working okay properly, and inside this we need to create an React tab. So our backend is completed. Now we are switching to our UI. So let's create a React tab here. So npm create. I am using vid bundler to create React tab dot for current directory because I want it inside my client side. So it gives me options for React or other frameworks. So I will choose React here and JavaScript. So let's run npm I for installing dependencies. So till now we have created our login backend, and now we are going to create our login UI or authentication UI. What you want to say, you can say. So let's wait. Packages are installing. Till now I will review my backend. So I will give you an explanation. So here I have created sign up route. By using this, user can sign up. So if I sign up with this ID, because I have signed up with this ID already, so it gives me use not function. And okay, so user dot select is not a function. Okay, so let's go here and let's remove select from here. So inside this, okay, so let's remove it, and now let's go inside this. And if I logged in with this, so duplicate key, because the email already exists. So let's change the email. So email will be test2, and if I logged in this ID, so I have created my account and I need to log in. So my email is test2 and password is 1234, and the decrypted password inside my database saved is this using decrypt. So now let's go inside this and log in with this ID and password. So test2, let's copy this and paste it here, and now send a request. So now I have logged, and if I verify my login, so this is my Gmail, and now I need to log out. So let's log out. So I have logged out successfully. If I click on this, so it gives me unauthorized accounts because I have logged out. So let's go inside VS Code. So our dependencies are installing. So till now inside src app.jsx we need to remove this all. So let's remove this all, and app.css will be also be removed. So let's remove index.css. So let's clear this file. Okay, so now we have cleared all the files. So after installing dependencies, we will start our project. So let's create folder structure for this. So inside this src directory, I am creating a new subdirectory, components. So components, and inside this component I will create two components. One will be navbar, and the other will be sign up and login. So let's create this first. So inside this I am creating subdirectory navbar, and inside this navbar I am creating a file navbar.jsx, and inside this I am creating an React component. So let's write RFC here. and it gives me never. And inside this component directory I am creating a new directory named as sign up, and inside this I am creating new file signup.jsx. Okay, signup.jsx, and let's create one another login. So let's create login.jsx. Okay, and here I will create an component rfce, and let's create sign up component also. Let's create and let's read comments if you have any comments here. Okay, no comments here. So let's create our project. So sign up. Okay, if I think dependencies are installing, my internet is slow, I think so, because this is making late. So let's go on Google and search for Tailwind CSS, because we use Tailwind CSS inside this Tailwind CSS. So let's search for it. Okay, so let's go on first website Tailwind CSS. Okay, and get start, and here framework guidance. So we are using wait, so let's go to wait. Okay, wait, let's copy the command and go inside this. So this is not done, so let's wait for it. And if you are new on channel, so please subscribe to our channel if you learn something from us. So let's wait for it installing it. Okay, installing. Let's wait. And if you don't like stream, so let's wait for installing packages. Okay, packages are installing, so let's go inside this. Okay, so this. Okay, 6 likes. Okay, so now packages are installing rapidly. Okay, so let's wait for it. So wait and watch. So now packages are installed, so let's install Tailwind CSS here. So now Tailwind CSS is installing, and now let's copy the next command, and now command is copied. Let's wait for Tailwind. Okay, if you have any doubt, comment, write it on comment. And so let's wait for installing Tailwind. Okay, so Tailwind CSS is installing. Let's wait. Okay, wait. let's wait for Tailwind installing. After this we will start our UI. Our front end has been done, our backend has been done. We need to implement front end, so we are waiting for Tailwind CSS installing. Now let's copy this command. Okay, and after the installing we need to paste this command to tailwind.config.js. Okay, so let's wait. And okay, installing. So installation has been done. So let's go inside tailwind.config.js. It's not created, so let's go inside this and let's remove this all and let's paste it here. And now copy the base cases. So inside this index.css I will paste here. And now we need to clarify our backend, so let's create an .env file. So first add into .gitignore, so .env. And now we need to server side, let's close it. And inside client side I am creating a new file .env, and inside this I will create a variable server side endpoint. So we will tag with our server. The endpoint will be not this, so http column localhost. So let's write localhost here, localhost 8080. Okay, so it's will our server endpoint, so we will use it in future. So now we need to create services here, so let's create src. Inside this we are creating subdirectory services, and inside this I am creating a file auth.service.js, and here I am creating a class. So let's create an class here, auth service. So service. Okay, so let's write auth service. So let's write here constructor. So constructor will be empty, so let's write it empty. And now here I will provide 4 routes, means 4 APIs. So let's write first API will be for sign up equals async, and this will be function. So for sign up we required 3 things. The first will be use full name, so let's write full name here, and the second will be email, and the third will be password. And we are checking if the 3 things are not inside this, so we will return the function or close the function. So let's write arrow here because it's arrow function. Okay, so if not of full name or not of email or not of password, so it will throw new API error, or not throw new API error, it will simply return the function. And if it exists, so we will use Axios. So let's install Axios, npm I Axios. So let's wait for installing Axios. So Axios will be installed in some seconds. So let's wait. Axios is installing, half is done. So now Axios is installed, so let's import Axios. So we don't need it. Okay, Control+L, and here we will import Axios. So let's import Axios from Axios package. So okay, so let's do API request with this Axios. So let's destructure the data from Axios. So data will be await Axios dot post. Okay, so inside this post we need to provide endpoint. So import and inside this .env we need to add wheat first. So wheat. Okay, now let's save it and import .meta .env dot. Let's copy this from .env server side endpoint and let's paste it here, and let's add some more routes. So user slash sign up. Let's provide method body. Okay, so method body will be okay. So let's think full name, email, and password. So method body will be email, full name, and password. Okay, so it will returns us. Okay, so let's return data from here and throw error. So let's throw error. So throw error. Okay, it will throw error from here, and the second will be sign up, and the second will be login. So login will be asynchronous function. Inside this we will get email and password. So let's write email and password, and after this we need to check if email or password exist or not. So if not of email or not of password, so it will simply throw, not throw, it will return the function. So return, and if it exists, so it will request. So let's add try catch here, and inside this try catch I will destructure the data from Axios equals await Axios dot post, and the request will be to import post import meta dot env dot server endpoint and add some routes here. So user slash login, and we need to pass our credentials also. So here first we need to pass body, email, and password, and after this we need to provide credentials that so server can add cookies with credentials true. Okay, so let's check. Okay, 6. Okay, now we need to add login route has been added. So return the data from here, return data, and else throw error, and now add another function. So it will be for verify login. Okay, so for verify login we will render it with, so inside routes, not routes. Okay, so inside routes we need to verify. Okay, so let's make it to get request because we are not passing any data using this. So let's make it get request. Okay, so let's make it get request, and let's go inside this auth service. Now verify login will be asynchronous. Let's add asynchronous here, and after this try catch, so let's add try catch, and let's destructure data equals await and axios dot get import meta dot env dot server endpoint plus slash user slash verify. The request will be go to verify the user. Okay, after this we will return data. So it will return the data, and now let's add another verify. After this we need to add logout. So let's add logout here, and it will be asynchronous. So let's add async here, and also add try catch. And so let's destructure the data from axios and await for this operation. Axios dot get will create a get request. So import dot meta dot env dot with server endpoint and slash user slash, here we need to add so logout. Okay, so with credentials we need to pass it with credentials true, and it with also with credentials so true. So with credentials true. Okay, so all the things are done for today. We will create an UI tomorrow for this project. Backend has been done, front end will be created tomorrow. So we will see you soon tomorrow. Bye bye guys.